Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining this first webinar for Macias. It's a new event and a new experience for everybody and more for Macias. From our side, first, we wanted to apologize a little bit if you received too much emails today, but let's say the problematic of the technical part was a little bit complicated. And thank you very much for your patience. This is the first thing. My name is Sonia. I will be your host today to speak about a very interesting topic that I believe has been selected in a survey, and today will be the aim and the main issue and the main topic today for this webinar is what can I do with my scrap when I produce pillows, quilts, mattresses, or sofas. You will see that this webinar will be composed of two parts. One will be a presentation, and then we will have a questions and answer panel in which you will be able to give some questions and answer. But let's say in the presentation, we will divide this topic in 5 parts. First, we will go over the types of scrap you can find in this industry. The second part and the second point will be the technologies and solutions that we offer Macias to convert scrap into new raw material. It means into resources and not anymore into waste. The third part will be how we can improve the quality of this material blending, because blending is a big opportunity when we speak about blending bedding product. The fourth point will be the technologies that we are using in Macias to produce these finished products and to use this raw material as a new raw material, as a recycled fiber. And the last point that we just did is a little bit to put ourselves in your place and to try to play as a bedding manufacturer, having some examples of products with recycled fillings, because this is one of the main questions we receive in all the conversation we can share about recycling and in a lot of exhibitions. So we hope that with all this very short presentation of more or less 1 hour, you will be able to find answers to most of your questions, and we will find a way together to give an outlet and an output to this scrap that you have probably in big quantities in your factories. So just 2 more important things I wanted to share with you. In the Zoom window, you will find a questions and answer panel that will be open during the whole the webinar. It means even during the video, you will be able to share with us any questions or any doubts you have regarding the recycling or equipment of Macias. The other important part is that we have people from a lot of countries, and thank you very much for your trust. And this first experience with Macias, it's really very good to have so much support in that direction to keep working on the digital transformation that we are doing. The language will be in English today, but if you need anything else in another language, feel free to tell it to us. We will organize whatever is necessary so that you get your answers in the best language you have, thanks to our agents or even our commercial people who are fully prepared to give answers to a lot of languages. So please enjoy this video. You know that we are here to give answers, so you will have more or less 30 minutes of video to go over all the points that we have been discussing right now. So I will tell you, see you later. And we hope that we'll have a lot of answers to give to you after this small introduction. Thank you. Okay, so we will start with the first part of this presentation, which is what type of scraps can you recycle and do you have in your factory. So the first thing, we will concentrate product by product, because probably you are doing different products when you are attending this webinar. So the first part will be focused on mattress. Mattress has different types of scraps. The first one would be the quilted material. Quilted material can be either a full panel, because I have some problems of stitching, quilting, weight, whatsoever, and another one which is the selvages that are coming out from your quilter, your quilting machine. Here, the mattress panel characteristic is that it is composed of different layers stitched together and quilted together to be fixed. These layers are variable according to the product you are doing and the range of product, but it mainly have sticking, we can be stretched or knitted, you can have fiber, wool, or natural fibers, foam layers, visco, latex, whatever you are looking for, and spunbond, 1 or 2 layers depending on that. The thickness of your mattress panel and the thickness of your waist will depend on what you are producing every day. This would be the characteristic of the quilted material. Then we have one main product. The second main product is the foam. Foam and derivated. We have typical foam in different layers, different thickness, different densities. Memory foam, visco for some other people. And we can also have natural latex, which is every time more used in the mattress industry again. All this composition is generating a lot of waste because we have to cut in the mattress production, working from blocks, different types of waste. Another big family, if you are producing your wadding, is wadding rolls. Wadding rolls, when you produce your wadding, you have the great possibility to have wrong rolls for different weight, size, or whatsoever is a problem of the machinery. Let's go now. I believe we are finished with the mattress. If I just lost something, please write on the chat. And then we will go now to quilts. Quilts is an easier product because it doesn't have so much layers. You usually have 3 layers: upper fabric, lower fabric, fibers. It can be natural, it can be any type of fibers. And you have selvages. Selvages is coming out from the quilting machines. It's something that you cannot avoid, you always have. So this is something clear. Then the more efficient you are in the quilting, the less main product you have. It means you can have a full quilt, 40 for some reason, but the more efficient you are in your technology, the less product like that of second quality you will get. But anyway, you will have some kind of quantities of those. This is for the quilts. Actually, you can also have the same wadding products, but just in case you have a wadding line. If you don't have, you will again have quilted materials. So for the quilts, this is finished. I believe we have 2 main types and we have gone over. Let's go now to sofa. This is completely different industry. Sofa almost don't have quilted materials, or very few. Okay? The thing that we have mainly is wadding line, because wadding is used everywhere in the sofa, on the wood, as a support, as a comfort. So you have a lot of rolls, and moreover you have a lot of pattern, so cuts. It means that you are not anymore speaking about rolls, but also about wadding cuts. Same story as for the foam. So let's say that we would say that we have 2 types of waste, generally. One is foam, like here, or the other one is wadding. Wadding, but that can be wadding cuts, so small pieces of different shapes and size. And then with the sofa we would be okay. We have the last product that we have probably people here joining this webinar, which is the pillow. Pillow is for me the luckiest product in matter of recycling, because there is almost no waste. Whenever you are doing something wrong, you can reuse, let's say, the filling material immediately. It's very easy to dismantle the product. But what it is, the pillow is a great opportunity for developing new product with recycled material. And then you will see, if you stay with us a little bit longer, we will see what are the technologies used and what you can do in a pillow with recycled material. This is one of the main outputs for recycled material when you work very well on the product feature. So let's go. We are finished with the types of scraps. Now we will see how we can process those scraps individually, because each one needs to be treated a different way. And then what we reach as a result of raw material. So let's go and let's continue with the second part of this webinar. Okay, so now we will go over the technologies that are used to take those waste and those scraps and to convert them into resources. So first, I believe it would make sense to give you some figures that we could have in some cases that we studied together with customers, that would give you a little bit an idea of how important is the problem of waste and scrap recycling to give an outlet, an output to this waste. For example, to give you a rough figure, in a mattress manufacturer who is doing 750,000 mattresses per year, we generate 540 tons of quilted waste, quilted scraps per year. It's not small. Whenever we are producing 1.8 million quilts per year, we generate 200 tons per year of quilted waste. Of course, the level of quantities of salvages and wrong products will depend on the efficiency of your technology and of your process. But even if you are doing the things very well, you always have some scraps and you always try to reduce them at the minimum. So this is to make a small introduction of how big is the scrap recycling opportunity, and I believe this is why you are here, to see what you can do with your own waste, and case by case we can study with you what would be the best option. Let's go now to technologies. We have seen what types of waste we have, and then we will have a look at what equipments are used to convert those scrap into new resources, to give added value to those wastes. Let's start with the mattress. Mattress, we said that one of the main waste is quilted material, where we have different layers, we said, and we can have different types of ticking, including stretch ticking. You will see here on the very short video, at the same time I'm speaking in each one of the material, to see the machine that will be dealing with this product, and I will show you the result at the same time. So you will see now in the machine is called the defibering machine, and then you will put onto a conveyor your waste, whatever the waste of quilted material, and then it will just reach some results where you will find two components, main components: fibers to give volume and foam converted into very small pieces to give resort, to give spring to your product. Now the second way that you can find in the mattress is the foam. We are speaking of foam, visco or latex. We have a very good machine which is called the Recifoam that you can see here, that will enable you with very few small adjustments to reach a very nice quality of cut of foam, visco or latex. The big difference between this machine and the grinder is that you will control the size of your waste, of your cuts, and you will also decide on the shape and the size. It will be a very nice cut because this machine is working with a knife instead of a grill. So it will also generate less dust and get homogeneous material, as a filling material of higher quality. This is the main advantage of this machine. And lately we did also adjustments on the machine so that you can also deal latex, which with a grinder generates a lot of dust, while here in this machine you will really reach regular cuts of latex. So we have gone over the foam products, then we will go to the quilts. Let's go now to the quilts. Again, you will see here the video of the machine dealing with this type of waste of selvages. The main product that the main scrap that you will get is the selvages. Selvages, when we put it, as you see it here, on the machine, you will reach a very voluminous fiber that we can call the fiber replacer. Why? Because we have a big quantity of fiber in a quilt, and the second is that the fabric is converted to thread, so really it doesn't interfere in the quality of the material. And the last but not least, we have the wadding. Wadding is, we said, a product that is shared in mattresses, sofas, and also in quilts in some cases. You will see that with an opener, special opener, that you can see here on the video, you will reach from this machine and from this type of waste, whatever the cut, open fiber like that, which is long enough to be able to reintroduce directly to the wadding lines. So at the end, when using this type of recycled material, you will reduce the quantity of bale fiber from your blending. So this is how we process the waste, the scrap. But now we cannot consider it a waste. For now, we really already have resources. Resources that have added value and that you can reuse as a very good filling material with its own filling power. So now we decided also to show you the interference when you have this type of raw material, to blend them together or with other materials to be able to improve even more the rentability and also the possibility of doing different products. Higher quality, lower quality, you will decide. I believe that we have gone over the types of scraps and now the technology to convert them to raw materials. Now it's time to see what we can do to improve and to make a product from them. The first thing that I wanted to remember you is that the chat is open, so just feel free to put any question, any alternative. We will have a Q&A round afterwards, so feel free to put whatever the question, you will have an answer. If it's not a direct answer today, we can anyway focus on a video call or whatsoever you need to be able to answer all your questions. But there are no simple questions. Questions are always good to be answered. Let's go now to blending. So as we said, blending is not something that is quite new in some markets and more used in other markets. Blending is some kind of combination between scraps or other materials. It can be also, but very often in scraps, with scraps together with other scraps or with new materials coming from bales, usually, normally. When we speak about blending, opportunities are very wide. So in order to show you a little bit different aspects and products made with blending and to understand a little bit how the shell also interfere in the choice of your blending proportion, we decided to make you some pillows, which is the best way to see a little bit the incidence of blending inside the product. For example, this one, you can see that we have a shell which is quilted before with a zipper, and inside we have 70% of visco memory foam and 30% of microfiber. So we have really a minority of fiber inside this pillow, and this pillow, as you see, is very fluffy. But the difference is that when we are only dealing with microfiber, microfiber just tends to go very deep inside the shell, while when we have some visco inside, the resistance is a little bit higher, but comfortable because both of them are going deeper inside with the weight. But if we take another one, which is the blending together with microfiber and with visco also, we have here a different shell. This one we don't have any quilted shell, and here you can see that we have just made the contrary, 70% of fiber and 30% of visco. Why? Because otherwise we would feel the visco inside the shell, and this way the fiber just wraps the visco together, and then it makes it much fluffier and the shell is much flatter. So depending on the shell that you are using, your decision about blending will be different, but the components are exactly the same. Here what we can see is another example of natural product. In that case we have taken 70% of latex cut together with 30% of wool. If we put a shell of tencel or bamboo or let's say natural stuff inside and outside, this shell is also quilted and we have a very fluffy product together with latex and wool, so 100% natural. So as you can see, the installation of blending can be bigger or smaller depending your pretension to go deeper in the blending industry. This diaporama will show you different types and levels of installations related to blending. You see that we are very often, every time more, using 3 components: mattress panels or recycled materials, fibers, and foam. The Macias blending solution can be with or without weight control, depending on the level of accuracy required by the product or the process. Blending is more frequent in mattress and sofas application, but every time more present in pillows, cushions, and other filled articles worldwide. Now we have all the raw materials blended or not, and we need to see what technology and equipment can be used in your factory to give a format to it and to have a use and a new product. For this, we would see at Macias 2 blocks. One would be a direct filling in as a loose fiber. It means I put it into a shell and then I reach either a pillow or sofa cushion. And the other block would be to take this raw material, just make a layer from it that is used as a filling material, and to calibrate it to the weight, the width, and the use that you want it to have. So you will have, as you can see here, an example of pads that are used in this type of industry and the shape that you can reach from it. Now we have the pad that we have controlled, as we said, according to the quality you want to give. Now I can do a mattress panel, I can do a felt, or I can do a quilt, independently of the raw materials that you are using. It doesn't matter. I just have the machine to make the pad. From the pad I can do all those 3 products that we have said now, depending on what is following this first machine. So I believe that now it's quite general what we are speaking, and probably you have some doubts of what is this machine doing, how it is working. I believe it makes sense to make a very short video of some seconds. You will see it will be very short, but to give you a highlight, not exactly, we will be here to give you more details if you need it, but to highlight what can be done with your recycling. The filling material is ready, blended or not, and will now give shape to our product. In the mattress, we can prepare from those 3 components, which are quilted material, fiber, latex, visco or foam, a layer. It means a pad of filling material. This pad of fibers will be introduced between fabrics and quilted directly to a quilting machine, or will be sent to an oven for thermobonding. We can use recycled quilts the same way as a filling material for a new quilt, a pillow, or a cushion. The diversity of products getting out from our Macias production lines is very wide. In this type of installation, the flexibility is a key point to share some processes, optimize the investments, and reduce the production cost considerably. It is, for example, the case in the fiber preparation or recycling equipments that can be shared to produce mattress panels or pillows on the same line. We will help you to design the most suitable installation case by case, adapted to your products and to your business. We hope that you enjoyed the video to explain you a little bit and easily, very short, what you can do with your waste and how you reach the product. This is where we can help you with good equipment and good technology. But your priority is to design new products, and this is where now we are putting ourselves into your business to give you some simple ideas of what we can do here. The first thing that I wanted to show you again is the mattress. So as we said, in the mattress we have different configuration, different thickness and different types of waste introduced into the mattress panels. So you can have bigger quantities, lower quantities, but the thing is that with this you will be able to improve or keep the quality of your product, reduce the cost of production, and moreover reduce the cost in new materials that you are using into your mattress panel. So you are doing saving, reusing your waste, but also in, for example, layers of foam that you will not use anymore. So this is where the point is. How to combine recycling with good materials to have the perfect mattress according to the range of product you want to do. Now let's go to the felts. So with the same machine, direct feeding system, we just go to an oven and this time, or to a needle punching machine or a calendar, and we are reaching felts that are used in the inner part of the mattress, in the spring, or when they are softer, like here, we are using it as in the comfort part of the mattress. It can be one of the layers of your mattress panels to reduce the quantity of foam layer used in the mattress panel. So you can see we have it harder or softer, whatever you want from the recycled material. In this type of waste, in felts, we have recycling from mattress panel and recycling from foam. This is one of the group. The second group would be the pillow. Can you imagine that this pillow and this pillow is filled with 100% recycled quilts? It doesn't seem so, but it is. So the quality of your final product will also depend on the quantity of fiber that you are getting into your waste. Now we have also from the direct feeding system the application of quilts. Also, can you imagine that this quilt is filled with 100% recycled material from quilts? There is no fiber inside. You only have the 2 layers of fabric and you have the filling material as recycled quilts. This one also. Of course, the range of product, you will decide what you want to do with the machinery, but the machinery can do from 100% fiber to 100% recycled materials. Let's go now to accessories. We have here the wind topper. It means the things that will avoid the air to come inside your house. Or the garden cushions. These are filled with 100% recycling from quilts or from mattress panels. No fiber inside, no blade. Let's have a look now to the cushions. This cushion is a good example of what you can do with recycled fibers against good fiber. Here, the fiber is from the bear. You see it's springy, but let's say not so strong, it's just comfortable. Here we have used for the same cushion, recycling from quilts. You see that we also have a good spring and we have it a little bit stronger. So it means that for the application of decorative cushion, it's probably very good to have more resistance than to have it fluffiness. So it's a choice from your side, but it's a good output for your waste. This is one of the first, let's say, destination of the waste today. This is from decorative cushions. Then we have also poofs. Poofs is also one of the outlets of the recycling, because we can play with different types of characteristics. This one, for example, is a yoga cushion used in the floor for the yoga application. We have decided to use visco memory foam because it's very, very easy to take the shape of the body. And we have used fiber in order to be able to have some strength. So we are not touching the floor when making the position of the yoga. This is our point of view. Then maybe you have some other opinion, please share with us. And then we have here the poof, the floor for the poof. So your children probably have some in your house. The poof, when we purchased it, was filled with 100% fiber from the bed. We decided to make it 100% recycling. And this recycling is 100% mattress recycling fiber here. So you see that we have a very strong shape, and we can even sit here without touching the floor, which is not the case when we tried it with the fiber. So with the fiber, it's a very good comfort, but at the end, you are touching the floor. So it doesn't make sense to have a poof for the floor and to touch the floor. So here we have a good advantage to use recycled. And even the consumer will be very, very happy with it. And last but not least, we have our very good friends, our best friends, the pets. If you have a dog, it's also very important for them to be comfortable. We have a good mattress, they need a good bed. When we purchased this dog bed, it was filled with 100% foam, which is also a recycled material. But in that case, we decided to switch and to put inside, that what we have here now, is 100% recycling of mattress panels. It means we said before that in the mattress panels we have foam and we have fiber. Fiber and foam filling enables to have a flatter surface, comfort for your dog, but at the same time you have good resistance for the foam. So at the end you have a much better quality for your dog to rest on the dog bed. So this is another idea, but also very convenient when recycling. And now that we have gone over the presentation, and you probably have a lot of questions to know what you would get from your scrap to reach new resources, feel free to send us some samples or you will be in touch with us, because we have here a showroom and a laboratory where we have the Resifoam and the direct defibering machine in full operation. So whatever is your choice to try to find a solution to your waste, we are here to help you. It's just a question of saying to us and we will together find the right solution. Thank you for your participation to this first webinar for Macias. It's always good to have you close by and to learn a little bit more about your business and your needs. Now it's time for the Q&A. You just put there any questions or doubts that has stayed during this presentation, or any new topic that you would like us to study in the next webinar. So let's be together in a few minutes to answer live all the questions that you have, together with the help of Patricia. Thank you. Hello again. So I hope that you enjoyed, or at least it was very useful for you to listen to this very short presentation. We could speak during hours about this topic, but at least we thought that a small resume of what you have in your factory and what you could get from it was quite interesting, and I believe that the attendance today is confirming our impression. So now it's time for having the help of Patricia to answer all the questions that you could put in the panel. You are still free to add any questions. We have about 15 minutes right now, or 15 or 20 minutes, whatever is necessary. So Patricia, go ahead. I'm here at your disposal.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The first, And then first question, Odeline is asking us, how do you deal with adhesives between the different layers in the mattress?
Let's say that in this case, what we are discussing is a mattress panel, and mattress panel usually don't have any adhesives. Adhesives are normally used in the mattress itself, in the body of the mattress, but not in the mattress panel. Mattress panels can be treated independently of the number of layers. When we speak about mattress panel, we speak about the comfortable part of the mattress like this, and not the inner part of the mattress that are constituting the volume of the mattress. So whatever is the configuration of mattress panel, we have a very good result in the defibering machine. So I believe that the adhesives are not present in the mattress panel. This is why we didn't interfere or we didn't say anything in this direction.
Okay, another question from Daniel is saying, hi, do you have a solution for recycling duvets and pillows once a customer has finished using them?
This is a good point. Here, the name of this webinar was, what can I do with my scrap? Because we were really focused on production, scrap production waste, if we can call it, but it's not really exactly the case. We have to divide and to organize the waste or the scrap in different things. One thing is the production coming out from the machinery itself during the production process in the same, let's say, process of the factory. For this, it's a clean product. You know the raw materials, you know the traceability, you know it's fully clean. It's just that you couldn't use this raw material in a finished product for some reason. When we speak about, let's say, post-consumer products, which is another story, it means that it has had a life together with a consumer. It means that it's not clean, it's not healthy, it can have bacteries, stains, time. It's not really something that is easy to treat. It has to be treated completely differently from a health and a sanitization point of view. So what I would say is that what our opinion, let's say personal opinion, is that it's very difficult that we can put a waste, as you said, as landfill waste into a new comfort product. And probably we have to find some other sectors to have an output for that. We don't say that there is no output, but probably not in the comfort business. But while in the scrap, that is a clean product, traceable, and really something that you control yourself, yes, we have good solutions to give output to these ways. So the optical is completely different on one side of pre-consumer and post-consumer, and this would be another debate that today we will not enter. Macias is really focused on pre-consumer and not so much in post-consumer, even though some technologies of Macias can help in, for example, doing some felts or some other materials that can be used as an intermediate product, not as a finished product. So I believe if you have more questions, please give more questions now, and we will try to answer as much as we can.
Okay, thank you, Sonia.
You're welcome. I'm doing my best.
You're doing very well. Another question. What is the possible share of the woven or knit shell of the mattress in the complete mattress, in the same panel, that is possible to be opened on your waist opener?
I understand that the question is regarding mattress panel of the quantity of fabric we can open in the waist. Usually in the mattress panel, there is not too much knitted or let's say ticking fabric. There is only one, usually in the upper part, which is the one of the comfort part. And then we have a lot of other layers, which are normally foam or spunbond or fiber or natural fibers. So usually in fabric, we only have one part, which is the upper part. Whatever, again, is the configuration of your mattress panel, we will not have problems to open it, whatever the number of layers or whatever the thickness. In that case, we will be fully ready to make some tests with your samples to really give you the result that we get, and there is really no exclusion in the type of mattress panel we can open here. We have very good solutions for all types, thin, thick, whatever you want.
Okay, another question. It's a nice webinar, so
thank you.
The scrap from quilts and mattress panels can be treated in the same machine being both quilted materials?
Yes, I would say that if you have a common, you are one of the customer who is doing both mattress panels and quills, the defibering machine can have the same configuration to be able to do both at the same time. So yes, I would say the machine is exactly, we need to know it, and this is it. The configuration will be fully operational for recycling both products.
Then we have another question here. Jignesh is saying, hi, what is the minimum level of waste that a customer factory must have so as to make investment in such recycling line machineries viable?
Yeah, I understand, yeah. This is another point. What our experience says that you don't have to be big to be able to have a good rentability on this type of project. In matter of amount of investment, the investment is quite, let's say, limited and quite interesting. And at the end, what we need to consider is that this product is at the end something that very often it's a good product. It means it's a good raw material that you are throwing away or maybe selling very badly at a very bad price, very much lower than the one that you are putting as a good raw material. So when we make the difference between what you are throwing away, for example, we have some examples of countries where to throw away a container of quilted panel can cost $2,000 every time we put a container. And every time we have a container, we have 2 containers a month. When we make a calculation between this and what we are losing and throwing away, which is a good material, at the end, it's good kilos, number of kilos that you can reuse in a new product. This is something that we need to calculate, but you don't need to be very big to be rentable. This is a big question. What is very interesting and what is very necessary is that you have to find the output, the outlet, the product that will give, let's say, a solution to this waste. One thing is to open it. You will see that the samples are very good whenever we did some tests with you. But let's say the important thing is where to put it, how to put it, and how to blend it or not. It means that this is another story. But let's say the rentability of this product is very, very fast.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Doris is asking a very similar question, but a bit different. She's saying left foam, latex, duvet salvages, and bedding left can be treated in the same machine?
Okay. So here is slightly different to the other question. Quilted material can be treated on the same machine, but foam or latex or visco needs to be treated on another machine. Sorry. The defibering machine will treat the quilted material, and on the other side we have the Resifoam machine, which is a foam cutter that will treat the foam. You cannot put neither the quilted material on the Resifoam or the foam into the quilted panel. So absolutely not, it's 2 machines and 2 different technologies. What very often people is doing and our customers are doing is to mix up both materials together with fiber. And then at the end, you have the biggest advantage of each one of the element and component in the finished product, as we said before in the webinar.
Another question. Uzair is saying, you have been really informative. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was the aim. It's the first one, so we are doing some tests. And so if you are happy, we are happy.
And he's asking, you have discussed solution quilts, but what about if we want to recycle plain fabrics like satin or percales to fiber that we can respin into yarn to weave new fabric? Thank you.
Yeah, this is one of the questions that we find very, very often. Macias is really focused on the comfort field business. And we don't have today, maybe tomorrow, we don't know. But today we don't have a solution to recycle fabrics 100%. It has to be always together with some fiber, some foam, or something else. For the fabrics recycling, this is another technology, which is a rag tearing machine that we are not producing ourselves, but you can use this kind of technology for this type of materials. But unfortunately, today, Macias is not able to give a solution to that.
Okay, Pavel, what about opening of the waste of pillows or duvets with a shell made out of a span bone, PP extruded and calendar material. Can you equip open such waste without pre-cutting? You understand the question?
Normally when it comes to a pillow, if I understand, this is if we can recycle a pillow.
It says like it's made, what happens when you open waste pillows that have like non-woven shell.
But you mean the waste of used product or waste of production product? If we concentrate on production product, I said that pillows don't have any waste because at the end the pillow is very easy to empty. So what very often we do is to empty the filling to reuse it as a direct filling. You don't need to treat it nothing if there is no sewing. And then for the spunbone shell, this is what you can have, very small quantities normally of waste. There are not so huge kilos of waste compared to mattresses or sofas. This is why we said that pillows don't have too much waste. And in that case, for pillow industry, unless you have a foam cutter or unless you have a wadding line somewhere, it doesn't make sense normally to have a defibering unit when you have a pillows manufacturer that is using only fiber filling.
Okay, Sergi is asking, hi Sonia, let me ask if I would like to test a mattress panel filled with my own waste. How do we do that? Is it possible to do such a trial with you? Thanks.
So yes, right, it depends a little bit on the period of time and what we have in the showroom, but today we have exactly the same installation that you are asking. It means that we can defiber the product of your mattress panel on one side. We can just reopen the foam on the other side, means cut the foam on the other side. We can make some blending together with fiber or not, and we can even go to the direct feeding system and go to a quilter for some tests for you. Yes, we could do so.
Okay. If he needs to get in touch with us, he can just...
Exactly, only just write on the chat and then we will be available, and we will, of course, organize some meetings. Anybody who has any project now to study or has some ideas, this is what the point is, to give ideas and to give inspiration. So if you have some inspiration or some doubt, just feel free to put on the chat or even an email to Macias so that we can give you an answer on that.
Okay, another question. On what machine can we introduce waste leather, if at all? Waste leather.
Leather. Again, leather is for us considered like a fabric. So leather, we don't treat it neither. It's something that is, we need some, let's say a sandwich made of something in these different layers stitched together. So in that case, we cannot help neither.
Usaid is asking if we will get a recording of this webinar, sorry. Yes, at the end. We will send
finally the technical point just worked. So yes, we will have a registration on that, yes.
So we will also have this video available in YouTube. So we will send you all in a few days. So you will be able all to rewatch the video if needed. Manta is asking, hi Sonia, do you have ideas for Cyrovert of recycling?
You have to make tests. We have to make tests, but we did it and it works quite well. The thing is that if you want to see it, we have Silvertop here. We can do it for you and send it to you. This is very easy. So you can count on this dispatch tomorrow.
And I think that's all the questions for today. So we have taken has been 40 minutes. So I think we can leave it here.
Yes, the only thing that we wanted to ask you is that we are really in the intention to make some more webinars. Not every month, I will tell you why it's a lot of time, but sometime we will be doing some webinars. So if you have any ideas of topics, that last time we did a survey, it worked very well and we are very happy, and then the attendance is very high. So if you have any idea or proposal of any issue or any topic that you would like to cover, of course, under Macias umbrella, it means under our range of products, feel free to put it also on the questions and answer panel, and we will be very happy to organize the next one. So thank you very much for your attendance. We are very happy of the result. I hope that you too, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.